After a fair amount of time playing Smite, the free-to-play MOBA on PlayStation 4, I can say with some certainty there are a few ways to get the most from your experience. Hi, I'm Mighty Mr. Mustache, the mightiest mustache in the universe, here with a little chat on how to get the most from Smite. As far as MOBAs go, it's a pretty decent game, even though it has a few flaws, like all games. Getting around those flaws is the key to really enjoying Smite, and it's a pretty solid recommendation that these have nothing to do with what god you choose to play, or even what meta or build you work with. Almost all of the issues that you should be concerned with have more to do with the community and matchmaking for the different game modes than any of the actual game modes. Hi-Rez has put in some excellent mechanics to help you when their matchmaking fails to give you a decently even game, but you as a player and member of the community have to sign on to the unspoken contract that makes any multiplayer game work at its best. Here then are some of my top methods for getting an enjoyable experience from Smite, even if you're new to the game. Number one is know when it's time to quit. There is a surrender mechanic built into the game, and after 10 minutes, you can voluntarily give up. In a 5-man team, at least 4 of you have to agree to surrender, and 2 out of 3 in a game like Joust. I understand that sometimes you want to keep playing, and there is a big or somewhat large movement in the game of people who refuse to ever surrender. And even if your team is losing, well, you might be having one of the best games you've ever played. This is where being a good community member comes in, though. If the 10-minute mark arrives and your team is getting crushed, then please don't be the guy who just has to keep the game going. Your 20 kills or whatever else means nothing to the other 4 people on your team who are just not having any fun. And getting all those kills means nothing if you're already 2 or 3 towers down and getting run over by a 5-man team who have their game together. Let it go and get into the next game. There's no penalty of any kind for surrendering, and there's always another game. The surrender mechanic is a really important aspect of normal gameplay because the matchmaking is not skill-based in the least. You can easily find yourself matched with some professional opponents who really should only be playing in ranked, and while it'll be a good learning experience, I can tell you it won't be much fun. Be a good teammate and know when to give up. This will be especially important when you are queuing up by yourself. It's easy to get locked into thinking about your game experience from only your perspective. And the forums are filled with players who will never surrender under any circumstances because they don't care about the team they're on. If you go into the game from the start with a team player mentality, you'll absolutely have a better time playing, and you'll actually have an easier time winning. This is a team game. 2 is learn the modes. There are about 6 casual game modes in Smite, and they come with vastly different learning curves. Arena is a big open space where you brawl until one side loses all of its points. But aside from Arena, every other mode has a steep learning curve, and you'll want to seriously spend some time learning how to build your god for that mode, and what role you should be taking based on your choice and build. While Joust is more forgiving with only 3v3 and only one lane to push, it's very hard on a team that has poor composition and synergy. Clash is wide open and easy to pick up, but you do need to learn to focus on pushing the objectives and avoid the easy temptation of just duking it out in the middle. I've actually played in a Clash game where we outkilled the enemy by 50 kills, and if you're not familiar with MOBAs, that's an astounding amount. But we still lost the game because no one in our team ever took any of the objectives. Conquest is the steepest learning curve of them all. It requires that you know which of the 5 roles you should choose, how to play them properly so you help your team, what god and build are meant for those roles, all kinds of things. Now, I'm not suggesting that you not play these modes. They're tons of fun. They're absolutely worth your time. But make your own life easier. Watch a YouTube video on how to play Joust or Conquest first, or just look up a quick tutorial online. Check out the near infinite number of online builds for the god you want to try. You have to think of a MOBA like Smite as part team sport and part video game. You don't just grab a ball and go play team football. I mean, you can, but you're not really playing football at that point. There are coaches and rules and practices and tryouts for the better teams. You kind of have to be your own coach and trainer in this, and you'll thank yourself, and if you feel like it, you can thank me, for taking even half an hour to learn the basics of the different game modes. Number three, when it comes to game modes like Conquest or Siege, don't solo queue right away. Not right away. Smite's a lot of fun, but the matchmaking system is not friendly for new players, and you can find yourself on a team of people with zero experience facing some pretty tough competition. Arena and Joust won't be easier to win if you get badly matched, but at least they're easy to pick up compared to complicated maps like Conquest or Siege. You can genuinely get lost in a Siege or Conquest map, and you spend a good portion of the game away from your teammates, and you're an easy target if you don't know what you're doing. These modes are at their best if you have a buddy or two to get into a chat group with and work out in advance who's going to do what. Even if you do get outmatched, you can at least have some laughs with your friends and just get the match done instead of getting badmouthed by salty randoms, and you can agree to just surrender if you're really getting steamrolled. Four random teammates with their own motivations might not be as much fun to play with. I find now that I have two or three gods who I'm comfortable with in Conquest or Siege, and I can handle pretty much any of the roles with those gods. I don't mind queuing up solo as much. I try my best to play my position well, and if my teammates aren't up to the game, I can shrug it off. But that took dozens of games of me swearing at my screen to achieve. And if I was to do it again, I'd probably stick to Joust and Arena for a longer than I did. And lastly, join a clan, or get a game group together, or start your own clan. This is not for everyone, I know, but I play on PS4 and I'm active in my clan. I'm one of the admins, and we have a presence in multiple games. So it's just a habit now to always have a chat party going, always be with my buddies. It means being willing to be social with people. Not everyone's good at that, I understand. And sometimes it means helping out a clan mate even when you'd rather be doing something else. But the rewards are worth it. Smite clans get access to some neat skins, they have their own clan store, they get quests and different stuff. But mostly it's a handy way to make sure you have a team on standby whenever you play. It's true that the game has a call-out system for randoms, and you should learn it. It's very helpful, and use it to help out your team. But nothing beats stepping into a match with four of your clanmates or friends and being able to chat and laugh and really have fun. Our group, House Stormwing, has a Facebook page, which I'll link to below, in case you want to apply. And even if you don't, having a well-organized or even poorly organized group can help with item builds and help you keep up with the game meta. That last idea is just a suggestion, but it worked wonders for me, and as long as you're reasonably mature and willing to be friendly, it should be of some help to you. Now, I have to give Hi-Rez credit right away that almost everything I could suggest to make the game better involves the players and not changes to the game. Sure, the game could use some changes, but in general, Hi-Rez is on top of those things, and patches come out all the time. I was dead set against ever playing this game or any MOBA, but I will admit to being pleasantly surprised. I mean, a PvP only MOBA is basically the polar opposite of my type of game. I still don't like the totally random skill base in the matchmaking, but I've seen what happens to the quality of play when they focus more on skill than connection quality, so I'll take the risk of getting crushed. Try these little tricks I posted up here. You should find that the worst aspects of MOBAs, the random matchmaking, the sometimes getting stomped, the lack of communication, you'll find that those go away a bit and they don't ruin your game experience. And as long as you like the idea of MOBAs like Smite or League of Legends, you will absolutely have the best possible time you can. I want to thank you all for listening, taking the time to enjoy this. You can throw up a like and you can subscribe for more videos on my channel. Help a fellow gamer out. I have been your host, Mighty Mr. Mustache. As always, the mightiest mustache in the universe. Thank you, have a great day, and have great gaming.